All right, so my microphone's working now. Good, thank God. I started your video and it stopped working, so I don't know what was going on there. All right, might as well put it in front of me. Okay, so iron, so not high elo, so it's towards the lower bracket. I've watched to about here. The first thing I would probably say is you need to ward early. There's no reason to not ward early. I don't actually know who you're versing. I don't know what champion you're versing, so it'll be an interesting one trying to figure out. Immediately I can see Heimerdinger. Oh, Echo. Okay. Echo, I think just a Raptors ward is fine just down here. There's no reason to do anything drastic. So that tells me you're starting blue side, which isn't necessarily a bad play. It's just the problem is this goes against the suggestions I will usually say, which is focus bot, because now you're gonna gank, you're gonna clear from your bot side down here up, and you're gonna be as far away from your bot lane as you can possibly be. And not to mention, I'd probably just say as well to note, you're pathing into a Heimerdinger. Heimer, you're not going to be able to kill him. He's like one of the few champions you never gank pre-6. So there's no reason to gank this unless you're playing for an invade. If you're playing for an invade, it's a different story. But I feel like you don't have the information to know that there is the opportunity to play for an invade. Well, apart from the small things of the way you clear the camp, it's not that bad so far. You're doing the hard version. It's the better version, but it's fucking hard. You've done it well so far, though. You've done it really well so far. Actually, your path is actually better than the other suggested path. Okay, so 235 cross mid, that's not terrible. But whenever I watch things like this, I actually get ideas for myself. So like I'm in my head, I'm already thinking of like, what can I do? Is there anything that I can learn from this game? It sounds funny because it's a lower elo game that I play in, but there's actually there's takeaways that you can get. I think I see what you were trying to do there. You were trying to do the Raptors into red clear there. And the only reason it didn't work is because you're unfamiliar with the style of how you clear the Raptors there. Once you get the style down, that will come second nature to you. But you got to be careful now because you got to make sure that will actually solo the red. Okay, so I can already tell you, it's 3 minutes 10. You're too late for this invade. Even if he's there, you're too late. I would also be wondering if he's actually bot side because your bot is pushing up really hard. If you go for an invade here and this is all gone, your bot lane might actually get killed. So there's two things here. Number one, if you invade and it's there, you can try for it. If you invade and it's gone, I want to see a ping on the bot to tell them to back off. I don't know why that's there. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. So that I don't think will solo. Okay, so obviously outside the obvious wasted movement and wasted time, right? There's a few key takeaways. This probably might actually be a long VOD review now. Look at it. Because of obviously you just need to practice your clear. Literally, you just need to practice your clear. The first thing I can take away from this VOD is that because you're new to the champ, you just don't know how to clear. You don't know how to clear the jungle yet. What you probably want to do is just go into practice store for a couple of hours. Literally, just practice every now and again. Spend as long as you want, but just practice a clear down. Because once you get the clear, the first 3 minutes of your video, I don't have to comment on because it will be perfect. I just have to watch what you do with your lead. Because obviously in this position, you lose out on time, you lose out on pressure. What is the Echo bot? How is he bot? What was he doing? Oh, I got a sub. Okay, so here, what I would probably say is actually ask yourself a question here. Why blue over wolves? I know it's going to sound weird, and you'll get a lot of people that disagree with this as well. But Yorick is not the normal champion, right? We use ghouls really, really well. If you went wolves here, bear in mind, Echo was just bot, so he's got to recall, walk all the way here. I think personally, if this were me, I would have gone wolves first into the blue, and I would have let ghouls finish the blue, and I would have run away. I think it's just more efficient pathing. But doing it the way you're doing it's not bad. It just means you might not get much more out of it. See, I wouldn't smite this. I know you're going to smite it. I wouldn't have smited that. Because if your intention is to go for the Gromp afterwards, what happens if the Echo shows up now? Now, he's not, because he's bot still. But in the opportunity that he did recall and he's pathing here, you might get yourself into trouble. Don't take this game, what happened this game, as an every game thing, because this is definitely out of the ordinary in terms of what happened in the early game. You will never get another game like this. I mean, it's 4 minutes 30. The guy hasn't checked his top side once. But in terms of capitalizing on his mistakes, you've actually played really well. You've actually done what you needed to do. I actually preferred the recall there. I'm glad you started the recall again. So that there is the equivalent to a cross map. So if you ever go from one side of the map to the other to get farm, you might as well recall and run there from the base. Definitely boots. And I would have bought a pink there as well. Yep. Okay. I actually like the Krugs first here because by the time you finish Krugs, your Raptors will be up. I do not want to see you gank top. I want to see you gank bot still. So you've got 45 seconds on grubs. In your perfect clear here would have been wolves first, into an E on grub, into raptors, into grubs. That would have been the perfect clear. So now, consider this. You're ganking for a level 6 Heimer. You're ganking a level 6 Heimer. You have a level 5 Garen that's half HP versus basically a full HP Heimer that's already pre-set up his turrets. I can tell you right now, this is either not going to work or someone's going to die. There's no way Heimer dies here. It's just not. It's not possible. If he played this right, which he didn't, you would have died. Okay, well, it's not bad because you sort of trade 1 for 1. It's not terrible. But you get more out of just farming for an early game. Get your level 6 and then start making plays out. I also only thing I would probably say is that I could tell you just from the way you left this lane. Okay, so you kind of fucked your top laner because that's going to hard shove in and then your top lane is going to lose all the CS. I don't think he's running TP. I'm pretty sure he's running Ignite. And if he's running Ignite, everyone's going to miss this CS. You should have just gone top here. Either stagnated the lane or gone and covered it. Look, there's probably 20 minions right here. Yeah, so you got a last hit with your Q. Don't just use it. You need a last hit with it because you need ghouls, you need graves, you need ghouls, right? Your problem is your focus is on completely incorrect here. Focus bot. Stop focusing the other side of the map because right now all you've done is you've farmed, but you haven't actually got a lead anywhere. Look at the scores. This is literally enough to tell me. Look at the scores. The Garen's 14 CS. The Heimer's 47. Heimer's not going to help. Garen's not going to help you this game. There's no reason to go there. Their mid has no flash, by the way. You could have gone mid as well if you really wanted to. And they have a no gap closer bot lane. I would have lived at this bot lane. Like, literally lived it. This Garen, I don't think he actually plays the game. I think this is just a first game in ages game. He's not taking it seriously. It's probably a normal. I'm pretty sure it's a normal. I think even Iron players, you have such a wide scale of the difference between Iron players. Like the difference between you and the Garen is enormous. There's no way this is a ranked, because if this was a ranked, that Garen would be Iron 4. Okay, so your top's basically AFK. Your top is AFK. Or he's lagging. Is he lagging, maybe? I like that you left the ghouls to finish the camp. That's good. There's a whole wave at top here that's just going into the tower. And also should note, you got a pink ward that you should put down as well somewhere. Now, personally, for me, I value this pink ward over this pink ward, but it's personal preference. You should definitely have put your pink ward down here. Do you guys not surrender this? Wow. Fucking balls on you guys to play this one out. I mean, it's a normal, so I don't think it's that big a deal. Make sure when you come to here, either from over the wall, because you can reach it with E from here. It just starts off the camp quicker. So 3 points into Q, then max your E. You're not playing Yorick heavy, you're playing Ghoul heavy, you need E max. Q max isn't going to do anything when you can't even get into range of him. I'm mind blown you guys didn't forfeit this. Like, no one called the forfeit either. What the fuck? So the biggest problem is you haven't put yourself on the map. And you're not putting yourself against Echo either. You're PvE focused. That would be fine if you were contesting his camps. And like, not contesting his camps because you have taken away a lot of his camps. But you're not contesting the same camps he's aiming for. So like he goes bot, you go to his top camps. That's a great play. But a better play when you're ahead is when he's bot, you go for his bot camps. Because that way you can push against him 1v1 and you can really abuse your lead. Oh, do you have everyone muted? You must have your team muted. I think you've got your team muted. That's why I can't see the Garen. Maybe the Garen typed in the end. He might have typed something and gone AFK, and that's why he's not playing. I'll be honest, dude, this game, apart from what I've seen so far, I don't see any point in VOD reviewing this. Like, this to me it just doesn't make sense to VOD review this one. Because you're not playing jungle, you're playing top now. And like, I can't say to you like, oh, gank bot, because you're not playing, you can't even leave this lane now. It's just not, it just doesn't seem like a very good game to watch. Does he come back? Or is it just a 4v5 the whole game? You're going to win the game. What I might do is, I'm not going to stop it, but I'm probably going to skip through it a little bit. For the times where you're like in the top lane, I might just skip through it because, like I said, I'm happy for you to send through another one, your next game. That's a proper game. I'm more than happy for that. I have no issues at all. I'll do it straight away. This one here just doesn't seem like I can get much out of it. There's still a little bit to take away from the start though. Like I can still critique the start no matter what. Only thing I can say is there's a massive top wave there. Oh, God, you're recalling on that wave, dude. Have a look at that top wave. Look how many minions there are. There's probably 20 minions. You need to be more alert of the map. You need to watch the map. While you're recalling, there's no reason for you not to watch the map. If there's ever a wave to catch, you need to catch a wave. It's a good wall. I wonder if you win the kite fight, actually. I think you actually win the kite fight against him. Is it actually a normal? Can't see it. I love the name, though, by the way. This was a ranked. What? That is bizarre. I honestly thought it was a normal. The fact that your team was playing it out was the only thing that made me think it was a ranked. That was literally the only thing that made me thought it was a ranked. Okay, so let me just go back for a bit then. Knowing it's a ranked, if you're in this scenario then, so this is a ranked game, so we can actually take this seriously then. Whenever you got a 4v5 like this, you need to balance your time between the spare lane, which is the top lane in this case scenario, and your jungle, right? You can't just sack your jungle, and you can't just sack your ability to gank. If this were me personally, I would be dropping maiden top. I would stack as much CDR as I could, and I would still get the whole lane top, but gank your side lanes. So like, for example, here I would be maiden dropping and just put her in the lane and hope for the best. Meanwhile, you play bot half and you play into this bot lane that doesn't have any doesn't have any gap closers. Because by you having to force yourself to go top here, you're not getting any ganks off. This is when you stole the dragon. Oh, why did she cancel a recall? What is this fiesta? It's funny because Ashe is literally going to be like one of the biggest carries in this game now, but you haven't gone bot once yet because obviously you've been busy having to cover top as well. Yeah. Yeah, I would have just done a full clear here. That ward should have gone out much earlier, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's a small mistake. Good. Make sure you get that E max before you get that Q max up. Yep. I want to see you either red and then run into their jungle rather than this. So remember, prioritize their camps over yours, especially in this game, because you want to put yourself in position to be able to rotate to top. Here's a perfect place to be able to rotate to top. Yep. So if this were me, I would have actually sat in that bush there because I feel like Heimer's just going to walk down. But he might not. Oh. All right. You know they know you're there. So whenever you get vision, whenever you get seen on vision, you got to assume the enemy's going to walk to you. So keep that in mind as well. Yeah, this is just a maiden drop top angle. Okay, at least you ping them off. That's pretty good. The second you see Echo Bot, though, you should be going for the Rift Herald. Yep, so here I would have thought you'd go top and push that down with the Herald. But I think, again, the Herald's a good call. I'm glad you didn't go for Wolves. Yeah, at least had a priority. You got to pick it up, though. Yeah. Almost forgot there. Jeez, gave me a heart attack. Oh, you dropped Maiden. Yeah, you got to watch out when you play Maiden. So when you drop Maiden, if your bottom team, it always runs to the same location. So Maiden will always run through here, regardless of what team you're on. So you got to walk further up to drop her that way. Yeah, and you would never drop Maiden from that position anyway. You would always recall and drop her from the base. But you want to give them as least time to react as possible to her. As less time, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually hear the VOD, because the last VOD I uploaded, you couldn't hear the person speaking. But right there, you're just complaining about Maiden suiciding, which is fair. Okay. This is just such a very good example of what I said before, where there's such a difference between iron high and iron low. Like, the difference between these players, I don't know what's going on, because this Ashe does not look like the same type of player as this Echo. It looks to me like they're completely different players. Okay, so I would be looking to drop ghouls in this game, so I would personally go top here. You need to remember that you're playing a top lane and jungle at the moment. So you need to prioritize these lanes as well. Don't just go jungle. If you're playing a 4v5, you need both, because you need to compensate. And you got the perfect champion to compensate. What you should have done is actually drop Maiden bot and then go and push top. Fuck is this game, bro? I would drop Maiden bot there. If it were me, I would have dropped Maiden bot. Yep. You've seen the... Okay, so you've seen the Raptors. They're all dead. You should take the Raptors there. Well, I mean, I just feel like you win this game. No, worst lane to put her. Don't put her in the short lane. Always put her in the top lane. The only time you would drop Maiden mid is if you're contesting the dragon and it's a standoff. That's when you drop Maiden mid, because it tells the enemy team, hey, you've got to go deal with this very quickly. Otherwise, you're going to lose a tower. It's the only time you'd ever drop Maiden mid. Otherwise, you should recall and drop her from the top wave. Actually, this in general is a very good example of a game where dropping Maiden constantly is in your advantage. You don't need her in this game. I can tell you, you win this game without her. You should be using her to funnel your gold. So you should be dropping her top to be your top laner while you go farm the jungle, and just leave it at that. That's 100% what I would have done if I was coaching you live. Even here, make sure you get used to leaving ghouls to finish the camps. Remember, as long as your ghouls are attacking the big raptor, you can leave the camp. Here, you've actually got one ghoul that's attacking the big raptor. You could have left this camp. Or even just left it until your E came back, and then eat it, and then left it. Okay, so I'm hoping you drop ghouls. If you don't, I completely understand. This is a perfect example. Like, it's actually a funny game, because it's actually a good example of a game where you've missed so many opportunities to get yourself ahead. You have 177 CS. You're huge. You could actually be so much bigger. It's actually hilarious. So, ghoul dropping, right? You don't have to only drop maiden. You can drop ghouls. In this scenario, you have 4 ghouls around you and you have an empty top lane. All I want you to do is walk into the nearby bush and recall on the spot. Your ghouls will walk out of the bush, push that lane down. You'll get all that CS, all that gold and experience. You'll recall and then path to the other side of the map. You're doing that anyway. Look at your pathing right now. You're going, I'm going to go to the other side of the map right now. You're going to walk down here. Or you're going to go to the fight. Yeah, see. So tell me, if you drop ghouls top lane, what's the loss? You're going to go to wolves right now anyway, and you're going to get new ghouls from wolves. So there's no loss in dropping them top here. Even if Heimer goes there, it's fine. I'm glad to see you start chucking your E out and letting the ghouls solo. You should have done it earlier though, because you can do it after your first camp. Jesus, that was scary. Okay, so same deal as before. Someone's top. Okay, so here, why not E the wolves? You're recalling to base, E the wolf and recall. You can get the wolf camp while you recall here. Always look for an opportunity to do 2 things at once. You need to start thinking very, very quick, very heavy. Here, I would have E'd the red and recalled. Good. You're thinking right. You actually genuinely are thinking correctly. Unfortunately, the thing is, it's actually taken too long for you to start thinking this. I think you misjudged your power level a little bit, and you thought it would be harder for you. I would have gone Shojin there as a first item, actually. I think Shojin buy there is better. I think you kind of misjudge your strength a bit. You're stronger at 1 item. Your ghouls can literally solo camps off 1 item. Like, you don't need to wait until you've got basically 2 full items completed. Here, you could run at that. You could E that and then run to grubs. Run to grump. All this attacking you're doing is wasted time. So those 2 attacks could have been on the grump instead. And here, I would have dropped maiden. Now, that's a good maiden drop because the wave is pushing to you. It's going to stagnate right in the middle, and there's no tower here, which means she has enough time to build up an army while pushing the bot side. That was a very good maiden drop opportunity there. But I don't expect you to get it. That's what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting you to go, oh, I should have seen that, because I don't expect it. You'll get it as time goes. As you get used to playing the game and the champion, you'll get used to it. So again, here, I'm looking for, you've made a play. What's the right call now? So obviously you got Baron up. So this is a scenario where you could maiden drop mid and go Baron, because you got a force to play and then have him come and then make the second play. He died of that? I thought he does. All right. So I would have left this already and gone and got new ghouls from wolves, and I would have gone for the Baron as well. So it's the right call. You've done the right call. I'm to be honest, I'm actually surprised this is a rank game, because it kind of gives more logic as to why your team played it out. Nah, it's fine. You get it easy. There's no risk. There's literally no risk involved. The only problem with this Baron call was you hit the Baron a bit too early. You should have waited, or you should have skipped the blue and just gone straight for the Baron, one of the two. But hindsight's always 20/20. It's easier to see it looking backwards than looking forward. I would have left this completely though. Once it got to this stage, I probably would have just left this and not even come back. Just go straight to grubs. I would have gone straight to Krugs, got your ghouls back, drop maiden top, recalled, and then pass bot. Because they're not going to do Baron. They're so far behind. Oh, you drop maiden again. That's funny. Or you're going to get lucky because Maiden's going to run up when there's minions now. I wouldn't have even waste your time going for this. I would have been in their bot side. I would be pushing bot right now. Or getting your Raptors to get ghouls here. This is what I would consider time wasting. You need to smart cast your W as well. Another follow. Yeah, Dragon Call's good, but you don't have any goals here. So you should have gone for Raptors here. Your Raptors, not his, because they were easy. You knew they were there. And the purpose of doing it was just to get the goals. And here, your goals can solo the dragon. So what I would like to see, ideally, is you to do the... Ideally, I would have liked you to E the dragon. That was weird, wasn't it? Now, with the split pushing maiden, obviously the priority is to stay alive. You're going to get punished for that by dying there. And in a 4v5, that's pretty punishing, but it's not that big a deal. Abyssal this game is so clutch. Definitely sell your pink for that. Definitely sell your pink for that. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but to me, this game just looks like you are smurfing. In all honesty, it just looks like you're smurfing because no one's really contesting you at the stuff you're doing. You basically just be able to do what you want this entire game. Now, here's a perfect bot main maven drop. Like doesn't get any better than this. This is quintessential best maiden drop opportunity you've had this game. You might see it, you might not. I think you'll see it. So I wouldn't have even gone into the lane there. I would have just dropped maiden on the spot. It's still a fine lane to drop maiden in as well, by the way. Even with the Heimer there. So Heimer's bot. So this is where you force a fight. It's a 4v5 anyway. There's a free blitz there. This is where you got to play to everything being even, because right now you're not playing to numbers. You can't play to numbers because you're down a player. So Raptors here, get your ghouls back, because you're running around without ghouls right now, and you're putting yourself in a position where you're going to fight them, and you still don't have ghouls. I would have popped Ghost. The second you hit your E, just pop Ghost and run at him. But so take this and just go straight to Baron. Straight to Baron. They've got 2 dead. Can easily get it. Just sweep on your way up. Yep. They're not going to come. I mean, Echo might come, but you could just hold your next E, don't use it, and then when Echo shows his face, you can jump on him. Yeah, luckily for you, your ghouls keep you in the Baron aggro. So this is an overchase. You should have just backed off to the Baron because your ghouls are still aggro in the Baron right now. You gotta be careful. You're gonna die here. You're underestimating Heimerdinger's damage. Jesus Christ, 70 health. So in a team fight like that, I would have dropped Maiden. It's just whenever you got a chaos team fight like that, usually dropping Maiden is a very good call. But your first mistake here is you're not prioritizing getting ghouls before fights. that you should definitely be splitting maiden when you're trying to fight an objective like this. If you're trying to fight for the Baron, you should be splitting maiden. Don't try to call Baron plays unless you put your maiden in a side lane. And make sure you don't tank the Baron either. At this stage, it's not that bad, but make sure you keep an eye out for not tanking the Baron, because you do less damage to the Baron the second you get hit by it. I don't think it'll matter. I think you should be fine. Yeah. Oh, when did you drop maiden? Now remember, where she stands dictates where she goes. Right here, she's closer to mid lane, so she runs mid lane. Whereas if she stands here, she's closer to the top lane, so she goes to the top lane. So you got to be careful where you stand. Remember, maiden drops from base are better than maiden drops from the middle of the map. Because if you drop from here and recall, she's going to show before you can even get into position to play her for it. Whereas if you go to base, drop her top, you can then go bot. By the time she shows here, you've shown there. So it's kind of like a surprise attack, deal with us both. Whereas if you do it the way you've done it now, by the time you recall, they're going to be able to deal with the maiden before they can deal with you. Probably could have. I would have gone GA last. Guardian Angel last, definitely. Always Guardian Angel last, because you really push your lead. Yeah, Guardian always. It's almost best in slot in pretty much every single scenario. She did. Now, if you did drop her top, she would have been with your team. Now here, I would go Wolves. I would go Raptors. Get 4 ghouls, either dragon, and then go bot. Because I know your ghouls can solo the dragon right now. So that would be personally the way I would play it. It's absolutely fine if you take it, if you just go to town on the dragon though. I mean, it's soul after all. All right. Okay. So again, you had another opportunity to main and drop. You just don't like main and dropping sides. I'm not sure why you... So why farm your jungle here? You're trying to end the game, aren't you? So what's the point in farming your jungle here? You're already pretty much full items. It's the next fight is just going to be a game winner. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you need to stop dropping maiden mid. Maiden drops mid aren't going to work. Even where you're going right here, like, what's the point in going here? It doesn't make any sense. Because look where their wave is up here. You're just going to catch an oncoming wave, but not get anything out of it. And you're going to lose your ghouls in the process, because afterwards they're going to run down the wave. You should just go mid or go bot. In all honesty, your team pretty much won this game without you. Even though you're so far ahead, I'd be interested in seeing what the Ashes score is. I mean, here, you can see the minions are up there, so you're not going to be getting minions here anytime soon. Your maiden is basically playing for you right now. Your maiden is doing what you should be doing, which is going mid. I would love to see what's going on right there, because I'm pretty sure your maiden just 1v2'd. Like, I'm pretty sure your maiden just 1v2'd there. So why not just go bot? What do you have against bot lane? you don't like bot lane. You haven't gone near bot once this game. You went bot once to go to the tower, and that's it. You've got side lanes to push, but I don't know. It's like you don't like going bot lane at all. You should be in love with bot lane. Bot lane should be your favorite thing in the world. That's where all the people are that are so easy to kill. And again, it's an open tower down there. You can just go bot and get that bot tower. Doesn't really matter. Be careful for the tower. All in all, it was a good game. You definitely need to work on your end game. Your end game is probably the only thing that's lacking there so far. What was Ash's score? 17-4. You actually did really well. In terms of mechanics, you've actually got... I would be surprised. You said that you're somewhat new to Yorick, didn't you? I would have been surprised. The only things that really indicated that is the ease, the not using smart cast to land W is probably the biggest indicator there. But apart from that, the only things you really need to do from that VOD is work on your jungle clear, because that will make next review much easier for me to work with. Focus bot lane. You need to focus on your bot lane. I don't want to see you go top. Just don't ignore it. The only time you should go top half is to get your red or to get the grubs. You do not need to focus top side. Make sure you're running around with 4 ghouls. Let your ghouls finish camps for you. And I mean E and run. Don't give any auto attacks. You don't need to auto attack. Get used to dropping ghouls in lanes, not just maidens. So if you're recalling and your next camp is a multi-camp like the Raptors, I want to see you go into a bush, recall on the spot, and drop ghouls into that lane. And be careful where you drop maiden. Make sure you drop her top or bot. Don't drop her mid unless you're contesting a dragon or a baron, and they're stagnating it. Apart from that, it was a good game. It's just a hard game because it was 4v5, and a lot of your lead that you got in CS was you got like a whole bunch of extra CS covering mid. You keep playing this, you will easily get out of iron. But it's not even going to be close. You should pretty easily get out of iron with this playstyle. I wouldn't expect you to get much higher than high silver until you get the jungle clear down, until you really get everything basic down. Then you'll just skyrocket. I could easily see, once you get everything down packed, you could easily climb. But Jungle Yorick will take you easy everywhere. You just got to get the basics down. Apart from that, send me an updated one with an actual 5v5. I think it'll be a lot easier for me to work with. I'm surprised you didn't send me this one. And you sent me this one instead that had the 4v5. You probably should have just sent me this one here. Maybe it wasn't recorded. Yeah, that's probably what it is. It probably just wasn't re-recorded. If you haven't already, try Outplayed, the program. It automatically records your VOD, so you don't have to worry about it. But apart from that, yeah, send me an updated one.